What's up? I want to talk about Resident Evil 2 remake that's coming out in what, like 24 days now. It's got me super hyped. As some of you may know, I guess if you follow my channel closely, I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, huge survival horror fan of really anything when it comes to movies, TV, especially video games. And I want to kind of tell you why I'm a huge Resident Evil fan and kind of go back a little bit and then move forward again as far as Resident Evil 2 goes. So, Resident Evil as a child, from my earliest memory, as far as seeing something scary, anything grotesque, even before TV, anything I watched in movies was Resident Evil 1, the video game. And I remember, I think it was on the PlayStation 1. It was the first time I was introduced to this type of thing where it had that scare factor, and as a child, like obviously I was still pretty scared of these things, kind of, but I was always intrigued about the more mysterious things in life. I guess if you know me in real life, you know why I am the way I am, I guess. But yeah, so I had this like connection towards Resident Evil where I could literally play it all day and I wouldn't be bored. It kind of like made me escape my own reality, I guess. Um, so Resident Evil is basically the first thing I was introduced to when it came to anything scary. Basically, is what I'm saying. Um, and I think as my childhood kept going and like as I got older, I was always attached to what I first saw in Resident Evil. I always wanted to find things scarier and anything that would make me jump more and like whether or not really being violent in a sense, but like just has that scare factor, right? I'm not completely into violence, obviously, but I like to be scared once in a while. That's for like a thrill, kind of like the same reason why people watch comedies and laugh, obviously. So nowadays, I'm not really scared of much. Nothing really scares me as far as like anything horror or stuff like that. Very once in a while, I get scared. So Resident Evil as a child, it had me hooked, and ever since then, it's I've been a huge not a huge fan of Resident Evil, but like I've always still been a fan because the last few games haven't been amazing, but they've been good. Especially Resident Evil 7 coming out, it kind of went back to survival horror, although they kind of abandoned the whole zombie thing and like it was first person, which I prefer actually because I think first person is a lot more effective and more scary than like seeing the environment. It's more contained and claustrophobic, where in third person you kind of see everything and kind of takes away the scare factor. But so this is so now that Resident Evil 2 remake is coming out, it's kind of going back to my childhood in a sense though that I didn't beat the second Resident Evil or even the first one. I beat the first one after the remake came out on PS4. I think another one came out on Nintendo after or something like that, but I beat the second one just actually like last year on the remake. So or sorry, the first one. And now the second one's coming out. I never beat the second one. Like when I was a child, I never got through all these games, especially by myself. There was no YouTube back then. There was none of that. So I couldn't research things and find walkthroughs. Obviously, none of that existed. So now that Resident Evil 2 is coming out, it's pretty much a new game to me because not only do I not remember a lot in Resident Evil 2, maybe I beat 30% of the game, but the fact that it's graphically a lot better and they added so much stuff to it, it's like me going back to my childhood in a sense and beating Resident Evil 2, but in a grander scale, even though I'm not scared anymore, really. So I guess to anyone like that, you'd be pretty excited. So I'm really looking forward to this game. I thought 7 is pretty good. You watched my review on 7 on Resident Evil 7 on my channel. Um, just by looking at the gameplay, I already know it's going to be good. It's not even going to be average. I think it's either going to be good or very good. This game, I think, is going to gain a lot of trust back into Capcom fans and just Capcom in general, as far as the Resident Evil fans go. Because I know a lot of people didn't like 7, but also a lot of people did like 7. It was kind of in the middle. So I know Resident Evil 5 and 6 kind of left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, especially 6. 4 is still my favorite of all time. For the most part, this might be better than 4, for all I know. Because I know it's going back to survival horror and very scary, intense, like gritty environments, and like it just looks so good. So basically what I'm saying is I know the game's not out for another 24 days, but I wanted to make this video kind of give my backstory on Resident Evil and why I love it so much. It's a childhood thing. Not only that, it brought me into that, I guess, I don't want to say it got me into like the scary essence of life as far as like the mysterious and like the other side. And like I'm a pretty spiritual person, if you know me in real life. So kind of I guess the reason why I did like Resident Evil as a child and like all these scary things is kind of related to my to like the occult side of life and like the secrets and like all this type of stuff like that, right? So it's a very occultic game too, as far as like the symbolism and like the stuff you can actually do in it. But anyways, that's a whole other story. I don't want to go on a tangent about other things like that. But anyway, so Resident Evil 2 is coming out soon. I'm gonna be streaming it on my channel, like day one. It comes out on January 25th, so look out for that. I'm gonna be doing an entire walkthrough on my channel from day one, just like I did Remothered. If you didn't watch my Remothered walkthrough, it's pretty much my first like streaming experience for the most part. Although I did Agony. Agony wasn't a good game, so I stopped that obviously. So I'm still trying to get used to streaming. So the reason why I really wanted to stream Resident Evil 2 is because I'm a huge fan, obviously, as you can tell. Um, yeah, this game is gonna change a lot of people's opinions about Resident Evil. It's gonna gain a lot of trust back, like I said, just like kind of like Call of Duty Black Ops 4, in my opinion, kind of gain a lot of trust from fans again. Even though it's more of the same, they kind of listen to the fans, and I feel like Capcom, in a sense, even though it's not a brand new Resident Evil game, it kind of is in a way, and they're kind of giving fans what they want again. And hopefully when Resident Evil 8 comes out, it's kind of gonna be the same. And this game is gonna take elements of Resident Evil 7 and put it in Resident Evil 2. So I think that's gonna be pretty cool too. So yeah, like let me know. Are you a huge Resident Evil fan, or what's your greatest gaming memory, or like what got you into like let's say survival horror and a certain genre of anything? So Resident Evil was that for me as far as anything scary goes. It was the first thing I was introduced to. Even though I was really little, I don't think it was the best thing to be introduced to as a child, but hey, I turned out pretty good. So yeah, look out for Resident Evil content on this channel a lot more. I'll try to make more videos before then. I know I've been slacking, but that's just life, I guess, right? Thanks for supporting me. Yeah, let me know what you're doing, what you're feeling, what games you're playing, anything. Peace out.